I was 19 years old when my older brother died. At least, that's what everyone told me. The funeral was held on a cold Saturday afternoon in October. It rained the entire day. The sky stayed gray from morning until night, as if the weather itself refused to move on. Hundreds of people came. Family, friends, former co-workers, even people I had never met. Everyone had something kind to say about Ethan. He always made people laugh. He would have given you the shirt off his back. He didn't deserve this. I heard those same sentences over and over until they stopped meaning anything. The police said it was an accident. A late-night car crash on a lonely highway. No witnesses. No survivors. His car had gone off the road and into a wooded area before anyone found it the next morning. Case closed. At least, that's what they wanted us to believe. I never really accepted it. Not because I thought someone had killed him, but because something about the whole thing felt incomplete, like a puzzle with one missing piece. 3 weeks after the funeral, Mom went back to work. Dad buried himself in overtime. The house became painfully quiet. I hated it. Every room reminded me of Ethan. His favorite coffee mug still sat beside the sink. His sneakers were still by the front door. His old guitar leaned against the wall in his bedroom, collecting dust. Sometimes I'd catch myself listening for his footsteps coming down the hallway. Then I'd remember, and the silence would hit me all over again. If you're enjoying this story, please take a moment to like the video and share it with someone who loves horror. Also, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing viewers from all around the world. Turn down the lights, get comfortable, and let's continue. One Friday evening, I decided to clean out his room. Mom couldn't bring herself to do it. Neither could Dad, so I volunteered. At first, it wasn't difficult. Old clothes went into donation bags, books into boxes, broken electronics into the trash. I was halfway through cleaning his desk when I found something strange. His old flip phone. The screen was cracked. The battery was almost dead. I smiled. Ethan refused to throw it away, even after buying a smartphone years earlier. He always joked that it was his emergency phone. I pressed the power button. To my surprise, it turned on. One missed call. Nothing else. Curious, I plugged it into the charger I found inside the drawer. The screen lit up. Then, it vibrated. New voicemail. I frowned. That couldn't be right. The phone hadn't been used in years. Maybe it was some kind of delayed network notification. Without thinking, I pressed play. Static. A loud crackling noise filled the speaker. For nearly 10 seconds. Nothing else. Then, a man's voice whispered, "Eli." I froze. My name. The voice was faint, almost buried beneath the static, but I'd recognize it anywhere. It was Ethan. My heart began pounding. No. I replayed it. Again. "Eli." The whisper sounded frightened, as if he were trying not to be heard. Then one final sentence came through the speaker. "Don't let him in." The voicemail ended. I stared at the phone, completely motionless. My brother had been dead for 3 weeks. So who had just left that message? 5 old. That night, I didn't tell anyone. Not my parents. Not my friends. I convinced myself there had to be a logical explanation. Maybe it was an old voicemail that had somehow arrived late. Maybe grief was making me hear things that weren't really there. I placed the phone on my bedside table and tried to sleep. Around 2:13 a.m., I woke to a strange sound. Buzz. My bedroom was dark. The phone vibrated again. Another voicemail. No ringtone. No incoming call. Just another voicemail. Slowly, I reached toward it. The notification glowed on the screen. One new message. My hands trembled as I pressed play. Heavy breathing. Then, Ethan spoke again. This time his voice was clearer. "If you're hearing this," he stopped. as if listening to something around him. Then he whispered, "He's outside." Silence. The message ended. At that exact moment, 3 slow knocks echoed from downstairs. Knock. 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 I looked toward my bedroom door. Every light in the house was off. My parents were asleep. The knocking came again. Exactly 3 times. Slow. Patient. As though whoever was outside already knew. I was awake. I didn't move. I couldn't. The 3 knocks echoed through the house, each one louder than the last. Knock. 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 The sound wasn't violent. Whoever was at the door wasn't trying to break in. They were waiting. I stared at my bedroom door, barely breathing. My bedroom was at the end of the hallway on the 2nd floor. From where I stood, I couldn't see the front entrance, but I knew exactly where those knocks had come from. The front door. I glanced at the digital clock beside my bed. 2:16 a.m. Nobody visits someone at 2 in the morning. Not unless something is terribly wrong, or they know you're awake. I picked up Ethan's old flip phone again. The voicemail had ended, but his last words kept replaying inside my head. "He's outside." My heart pounded against my ribs. "No," I whispered. "This isn't real." I told myself grief could make people imagine things. I'd read stories about it before. People claimed they heard loved ones calling their names, saw them standing in crowded places, dreamed conversations that felt completely real. Maybe this was the same thing. Maybe my mind was trying to make sense of losing my brother. Then, my own phone buzzed. The sudden vibration nearly made me drop it. Unknown number. 1 new text message. There were only 4 words. "Don't open the door." I frowned. Someone had to be playing a sick joke. Before I could reply, the message disappeared. Not deleted. Gone. As if it had never existed. I checked my messages again. Nothing. No unknown number. No conversation. Nothing. A cold shiver crawled across my shoulders. That's when I heard footsteps. Not downstairs. Upstairs. Slow. Measured. Walking across the hallway outside my room. The old wooden floor creaked with every step. Creak. Silence. Creak. Silence. I held my breath. Whoever it was walking toward my bedroom. I wanted to call out to my dad, but something stopped me. The footsteps didn't sound like his. My father dragged his feet whenever he walked. These footsteps were different, careful, deliberate, as though the person knew exactly which floorboards made the least noise. The footsteps stopped outside my bedroom door. Complete silence. I stared at the doorknob. Seconds felt like hours. Then, someone slowly tried the handle. It turned only a few millimeters before stopping. I'd locked it. A long pause followed. Then, 3 gentle knocks. Tap, tap, tap. Not loud, not angry, almost polite. My mouth had gone completely dry. Whoever was outside knew I was awake. The voice from Ethan's voicemail echoed in my mind. "Don't let him in." I slowly backed away from the door until my legs touched the edge of the bed. Every instinct told me to stay quiet. Another full minute passed. No movement, no footsteps, nothing. Finally, I heard someone walking away. The creaking floorboards grew fainter until the hallway fell silent once again. I waited another 5 minutes before finding the courage to move. Very slowly, I stepped toward my bedroom window. The curtains were half open. I carefully pulled them back just enough to look outside. The street was empty. A light fog had rolled into the neighborhood, swallowing the sidewalks and covering the parked cars. Everything looked normal, until I noticed someone standing beneath the streetlight across the road. A man, completely motionless, his face hidden beneath the hood of a long black coat. Even from that distance, I knew he was looking directly at my window. He didn't wave. He didn't move. He simply stood there, watching. A car drove past a few seconds later. Its headlights briefly illuminated the street. For a split second, the light blocked my view. When the car passed, the man was gone. Just gone. No footsteps, no running, nothing. He had disappeared. I stumbled backward from the window. No. I grabbed Ethan's phone again. The screen lit up by itself. Another voicemail. This time, I didn't want to press play, but I had to know. With trembling fingers, I opened it. Static filled the room. Then Ethan whispered. His voice sounded weaker than before, almost desperate. He's getting closer. A loud crash echoed from downstairs. Glass shattered. I jumped so hard that the flip phone slipped from my hand onto the floor. Someone had just broken into the house. My parents were still asleep. Or at least, I hoped they were. I threw open my bedroom door and sprinted into the hallway. Dad! No answer. Mom! Still nothing. Only silence. A silence so complete, it felt like the house itself was listening. Then I heard it. Not from downstairs. From my parents' bedroom. Their bedroom door slowly creaked open on its own. My parents' bedroom door slowly creaked open. I stood frozen at the end of the hallway, staring into the darkness. Dad? I called out, barely louder than a whisper. No answer. Mom? Nothing. The only sound was the slow creaking of the old wooden floor beneath my feet. I took one cautious step forward, then another. The hallway felt longer than I had ever remembered. Every shadow seemed alive. Every doorway looked like it was hiding someone. Finally, I reached my parents' bedroom. The door was fully open now. I peered inside. The room was empty. Their bed hadn't even been slept in. The blankets were neatly folded. The pillows untouched. My heart sank. Where are they? I rushed downstairs. The kitchen was empty. The dining room was empty. The living room, empty. I checked the garage. Both of my parents' cars were still parked inside. There was no sign that they'd left the house. Then I noticed something lying on the kitchen counter. A single sheet of paper. It hadn't been there before. Across the front, written in thick black marker, were 5 words. You should have listened. My hands began shaking. Someone had been inside the house. Not just outside. Inside. I backed away from the note. That's when I heard it. A faint ringing. It wasn't coming from my pocket. It was Ethan's old flip phone. The ringtone echoed through the silent kitchen. I answered immediately. Hello. Only static. Then, Eli. It was Ethan again. This time, his voice sounded terrified. If you find the note, he stopped. I could hear him breathing heavily. Don't go into the basement. The call ended. At that exact moment, the basement door slammed shut. Bang! I nearly fell backward. Every light in the kitchen flickered. Once. Twice. Then everything went dark. The entire house lost power. No, I whispered. I reached into the kitchen drawer and found a flashlight. Its weak beam barely cut through the darkness. Every room suddenly felt unfamiliar. The silence became unbearable. Then, I heard something moving below me. A slow scraping sound, like something heavy being dragged across a concrete floor. It was coming from the basement. Against every instinct, I stepped closer to the basement door. Maybe my parents were down there. Maybe they needed help. I slowly reached for the doorknob. It felt freezing cold. I turned it. The door creaked open. Pitch black darkness stared back at me. The flashlight barely illuminated the first few wooden steps. The scraping sound had stopped. Ethan? I whispered, not even knowing why I'd said his name. No answer. I started down the stairs. 1 step. 2. 3. The air became colder with every step. A strange smell filled the basement. Wet earth, old wood, something rotten. When I reached the bottom, my flashlight revealed dozens of cardboard boxes stacked against the walls. Old furniture covered by dusty sheets, broken bicycles, nothing unusual. Then the flashlight landed on the far wall. I stopped breathing. Someone had covered the wall with photographs. Hundreds of them. Every single one was of me. Some showed me walking home from school. Some showed me jogging around the neighborhood. Some showed me sitting on my front porch. Others had been taken through my bedroom window while I slept. The oldest photo was dated 3 years earlier, 3 years before Ethan died. My legs almost gave out. Whoever had been watching me hadn't started recently. They'd been watching me for years. My flashlight drifted lower. There was a table beneath the photographs. On it sat an old cassette recorder. Its red light was blinking. Still recording. As I stepped closer, the recorder clicked. Then a voice filled the basement. Not Ethan. Not my father. Not anyone I recognized. Just a calm man's voice. If you're listening to this, a long pause followed. You're exactly where I wanted you. Suddenly, the basement door upstairs slammed shut. The sound echoed through the darkness. Then I heard it. Slow footsteps, walking down the basement stairs. One step at a time. The footsteps stopped halfway down the basement stairs. I couldn't breathe. The flashlight trembled so violently in my hand that the beam bounced across the walls, causing hundreds of photographs to stare back at me from every direction. Every picture, every moment. Someone had been watching my life for years. The cassette recorder continued playing. The unfamiliar voice spoke again. If you're hearing this, then he finally brought you here. I frowned. He? The voice continued. My name is Detective Samuel Briggs. My heart skipped a beat. I've been investigating a series of disappearances for almost 9 years. The recorder crackled. If you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead. I stared at the recorder. The voice sounded calm, almost defeated. We never caught him. He doesn't choose victims randomly. He watches them for months, sometimes years. He learns their routines, their fears, their families. He becomes part of their lives, without them ever knowing. The detective paused. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. And if you found these photographs, you were his next obsession. A loud creak came from the staircase. Someone had taken another step. I swung the flashlight toward the stairs. Nothing. Only darkness. The detective continued. 3 weeks ago, a young man named Ethan Walker came to us. My heart nearly stopped. My brother. He believed someone was following his younger brother. He brought us photographs, videos, evidence. But before we could arrest anyone, Ethan died. Tears filled my eyes. No, the car accident. It wasn't random. He wasn't running away. He was trying to protect you. The room spun around me. Everything Ethan had done suddenly made sense. The old phone, the strange voicemails, the warnings. He had known. He had been trying to stop whatever was coming for me. The detective's final recording echoed through the basement. If you are hearing my voice, leave. Do not look behind you. No sooner had he finished speaking, I felt warm breath against the back of my neck. I froze. Every instinct screamed at me to turn around, but I remembered the detective's warning. Do not look behind you. The breathing grew louder, closer. I could hear fabric shifting. Someone was standing inches behind me. Then, a whisper. So, he warned you. It wasn't Ethan. It wasn't the detective. It was someone else. A man's voice, soft, calm, almost friendly. My entire body shook. Without thinking, I sprinted toward the basement stairs. Behind me, Footsteps exploded across the concrete floor. Fast. Much faster than mine. I raced up the stairs 2 at a time. The moment I reached the top, I slammed the basement door shut and threw my entire weight against it. Something struck the other side. Bang! The whole house shook. I didn't wait. I ran outside barefoot and screamed for help. Neighbors rushed from their homes. Within minutes, police cars filled the street. Officers searched the basement immediately. Every corner, every box, every wall. But there was no one there. The photographs were gone. The cassette recorder, gone. The only thing left behind was Ethan's old flip phone. One detective picked it up. "It doesn't even have a SIM card," he said. "It shouldn't be able to receive calls." I didn't answer, because the phone suddenly vibrated in his hand. Everyone heard it. A new voicemail. The detective looked at me. "You want to hear this?" I nodded. He pressed play. Static. Then, Ethan's voice. For the first time, he didn't sound frightened. He sounded relieved. "Eli," a long pause. "You made it." Then the message ended. No one in the room spoke. The police searched for months. They never identified the stalker. No fingerprints. No DNA. No missing person reports connected to the photographs. Nothing. Officially, my brother died in a car accident. Officially, there was never anyone in our basement. Officially, none of it ever happened. My parents moved us across the country shortly afterward. We never returned to that house. For a while, life slowly became normal again. Or at least, that's what I wanted to believe. Last month, almost 2 years after that night, I bought a brand new phone. New number. New carrier. No one except my family had it. One morning, I woke up to a voicemail. No missed call. No unknown number. Just one new message. It lasted 6 seconds. Static filled the speaker. Then Ethan whispered one final sentence. "He found you again." I deleted the message immediately. But sometimes, late at night, I'll wake up for no reason, and from somewhere outside my bedroom window, I'll hear 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. I never look outside anymore, because I'm afraid one day someone will be standing there, waiting for me to finally open the door.